Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Ride in that hoodie, turn that to a foreign thing. Ride in that hoodie, turn that to a foreign thing.
Yeah! You already know.
You're a terrible person. I want you to understand that.
Vibes. This is your boy, Millie. Welcome to another episode of Home Team. I'm with Cam.
It's good.
He's a
Say
6'5" Canadian African. Yeah.
You switched up right there. You switched up. You usually didn't do the usual shtick that you do. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's surprising. That's
I told
surprising.
you like it. I told you like it today. You're actually my favorite 6'5" Canadian African.
Okay, so how many 6'5" Canadian Africans do you know? That's the question.
You're actually at the very top.
Yeah, but how many do you know is what I'm asking.
You're at the very top.
You're not answering my question.
You're
like out of the one,
You're at,
which is
you're at the very top of the list.
yeah, but out of the one which is just me, how many do you know? Like overall.
Okay, all right. Maybe that was a little too specific. I would say
Yeah.
out of all the Africans that are over the height of 6'4" who are not born in the United States, you are my favorite.
Okay, once again, the specifics and the details are a little like like they're like right there.
I thought
So
I thought I dumbed it down pretty good.
okay, just say you're my favorite African. Just say that.
Ooh.
What was that? What was the ooh you oohed right there? What was that?
All right, so today.
Whoa!
So today, what?
You kind of like try to speed past that when I tried to just say you're my favorite African because I would think that, so you just say it.
Just say what?
You're my favorite African. Say that.
You are one of my favorite Africans.
No. See, you said one of, right? How many do you know?
I said
how many do you know?
I said what you.
No, I think you're a little bit of a liar because you didn't. You said you're one of my. I said say you're my favorite African. Say it. Just say it. Go ahead. Say it.
You are my favorite African.
Mm-hmm.
You are my favorite African, Cameron, that was born in Canada.
No, and you're doing it. Let's just continue the episode. We'll go over our friendship later. Let's just continue the fucking episode.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this episode.
Yeah, so am I.
I really am. So we try not to talk about like recent times.
Yeah.
We try to keep like the podcast fluent, but I think that this is pretty funny. Well, not funny. It's actually very sad.
Extremely. It's depressing, actually.
It's actually serious.
Yeah.
But okay, so at this time, you guys, it's obviously gonna be way past when you guys are watching this, but at this time, if you are not a fan of WWE, most males and maybe a couple of women when we were little, primarily, but even if you're still a fan now, have been fans of the WWE at some point. You've watched wrestling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so at this point in time, it is this year's 2022, this year's WrestleMania.
And for people who don't know, their WrestleMania is pretty much like their Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest,
the Super Bowl of wrestling, basically.
Exactly.
The biggest event, sold out crowd, thousands of people. All the crazy stuff happens, like all the amazing stuff happens, all the very nice things happen, you know. So if you were to miss it, it would be devastating. And speaking of missing it, that is exactly what Cam did.
Okay. All right. Didn't ease into that one at all. You just went straight for it. Didn't really ease
go to WrestleMania, but you know, his
flight
was canceled and it was too late to reschedule.
So let me explain. It's actually worse, right? So first, right, got a ticket. Then out of nowhere, flight got canceled. All that bullshit. I was like, you know what the fuck ever, right? Already pissed off, right? Then my homie's like, hey, because mind you, I already sold my ticket. Then my homie Grizz was like, hey man, My homie canceled on me, and I'm about to go to WrestleMania. Do you want my ticket for both nights? Because WrestleMania is now in 2 nights. He's like, I can give you a ticket for both nights, right? And I begrudgingly, I was like, I can't go, bro. I can't go because I didn't have enough money to buy a plane ticket or a train ticket or anything like that. So I was like, yeah, can't go. Right. So I missed out on the opportunity to go to WrestleMania twice. And usually, right, if this was like a regular WrestleMania, like last year's WrestleMania, where it's like, okay, had some good moments, but you know, blah blah blah, then I would be like, okay, it's fine, right? The thing is, this is one of the greatest WrestleManias in recent history. This is one of the greatest WrestleManias in recent history, bro. Like Triple H retired, put his boots in the ring. Undertaker had the whole Hall of Fame thing. Bianca Belair won, beat Becky Lynch after like a great, amazing storytelling, right? What else? What else happened? What else happened? I already know I'm saying for last, but what else happened? I'm not gonna talk about Roman Reigns versus Brock because that match fucking sucked. Pat McAfee actually had a good match against Austin Theory. Cody Rhodes came back, and his thing, Cody Rhodes doesn't suck anymore, so you know that was actually a huge moment. And then to end it off, Stone Cold Steve Austin had his last match ever after I think 19 years of not even being in the ring. He had his last match ever, and I missed out on that. And like there's a little bit of trauma there for missing out on that, but I feel like maybe I'll get better. Probably won't, but I hopefully I can get better.
Yeah, man. It's tough. You know, if I were you, I'd be absolutely devastated, and I would never ever forget something like this.
Okay, I don't think I am. Thank you for mentioning that because I'm not at all. I'm actually pretty devastated. Yeah, yeah.
Especially like if I had a second chance to go, and then like
Yeah.
I still couldn't have gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I would rip my heart out.
All right. Yeah. Of course.
I would think about this for years, decades.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
And then like, what if like wrestling completely falls off, and this is like the last great?
Okay. Yeah. Emil, I get it. Thank you. I get it.
I don't. No offense though. No offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. No offense. You fucking jackass.
Like,
yeah. I get it.
Like no disrespect, but like you know, if that happened to me, I would feel like an idiot.
Yeah, okay. What was that? What was that? You can't say no disrespect. If that happened to me, I feel like an idiot. It's pretty much you're pretty much saying that I should feel like an idiot.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Then why'd you say it?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, but that's just what I'm saying.
Okay, you can't say that's not what I'm saying, and then proceed to say, but that is what. Never mind.
Like that's what I'm saying. How I would feel. I'm not saying that about you though, because we're different. You know, maybe you don't feel like that, but I'm just saying if I do. I feel like absolute.
I do.
Stupid.
Yeah. You got anything else to say?
That's all I got, man.
You sure?
I mean, I had a great time watching it in my room, sitting there watching it, real nice.
Yeah, I was watching it too. I had a very, very great time. It was fun WrestleMania to watch.
It was great
at home.
Great. Yo, and then the worst part is I inadvertently like brought it up to Garen because he never told me about this story until today. And so I was just like, dude, did you like see WrestleMania?
Yeah, he's like, bro, did you see? Like, he sent me DMs like, bro, this WrestleMania is one of the greatest WrestleMania. This is crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was supposed to be there. Yeah.
Yo, hey.
Put your fucking hand down. No. Put your fucking hand down, yo.
All love, bro. All love.
I don't like you as a person. I don't want you to understand that. As a person, I just don't enjoy you.
Whew. Whew. Oh. Man, my stomach hurts now, low-key. Need some ab soreness. Now,
another thing, I also missed Edge versus AJ Styles, a match that literally I used to dream about as a kid, you know. It's AJ Styles and TNA, different company. Edge, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I was like, and you know, as a kid, I was like, oh, that will never happen, right? And you know, I get a chance to see it, and you know, yeah, depression. But you know, it was a great match. It was a great match. It was great.
Fantastic.
All of it was great.
10 out of 10. Probably the best WrestleMania ever.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It just feels so good.
Oh no, well, let me tell you what I'm not. Well, I'm happy I didn't see though. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Oh my fucking god, that sucked. That match sucked. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So first things first. The match accidentally ended, right? But the referee in the pin, but he counted 3 on accident, right? Then another thing happened where they're just like, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna do it again, right? Ronda Rousey made a Charlotte Flair tap out, but the referee didn't see it, right? Then, because like I guess the referee's distracted or something. Then here's how Charlotte Flair beat Ronda Rousey off of a simple big boot. That's it. She hit her with a big boot, right? Kind of like a bro kick, but just standing, right? That's not even a finisher or signature, right? And then she won. And then everyone in their mind,
the figure 4. Like I don't understand. That's not
exactly.
Even,
yeah, exactly.
Like if you don't
exactly, and that's why everyone.
It's like literally like both of your legs like this, and it's locked like that. It's supposed to like hurt your
exactly, and then you're causing pain. Yeah. So everyone was like, "That's how it ended." Right? Right? Everyone was like, okay. And then we can't forget about the shit fest that was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, right? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, and if you know anything, if you understand anything, right? Now, this match was being built up as the biggest match of WrestleMania history, right? Brock Lesnar is the WWE champion. Roman Reigns is the Universal champion, right? 2 world championships. That's never happened to WrestleMania ever, right? So it was being built up as the biggest match of all time. The match was 12 minutes and 6 seconds, right? And I have a list of all the moves that they hit, right? I'm going to read it off to you. These are all the moves that they hit in this whole entire match, right? Brock Lesnar hits a suplex. Brock Lesnar hits a suplex. Brock Lesnar hits a suplex. Roman Reigns hits a spear. Roman Reigns hits another spear. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Brock Lesnar hits a suplex. 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 Stay awake. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Brock Lesnar hits a F5. Roman Reigns hits a spear into the ref. Roman Reigns hits a low blow. Roman Reigns hits him with the belt. Pin attempt. Spear. Kimura locked spear. That's the match. That's the main event. The biggest match of all time in WrestleMania history, right? Which everyone knew wasn't fucking true. Because that's not even close to being the biggest match in WrestleMania history, right? And it was 12 minutes with literally the only moves that were happening were a suplex, a spear, an F5, and a Superman punch. That's it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Bro, the biggest
5 moves.
In my opinion, is still Shawn Michaels versus Taker.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that's the greatest match. I think the biggest match is still Rock and Cena, but the greatest match is still Shawn and Taker. Shawn and Taker is the greatest match of all time, in my opinion. To seeing that, because I remember seeing that, like as a kid, we were thinking like, because Undertaker's streak is like no one was beating that back then, right? Because like that was like unheard of, like that was thought of, and then everyone like in the whole entire match, of course, because Shawn Michaels is arguably the greatest in ring of all time. We're thinking, holy shit, Shawn might do it. I remember that whole entire time, like watching as a kid, thinking, what the fuck, like Shawn might beat him. He didn't, but it's the closest anyone ever came to before, Brock Lesnar.
Like I don't know.
Anyway, switching topics.
I never thought like Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns was gonna be good because it's literally just like the battle of the most OP characters of all time.
Oh my god, that's what it is. Like, bro, this is the 3rd time they've ever main event WrestleMania, right? It's never been good. Like, no joke. The main event WrestleMania 31 wasn't good. 34, terrible, somehow worse. 38 somehow got worse. Now, granted, Roman Reigns apparently did injure. Apparently, Roman Reigns did. Exactly. And like, give it up. Apparently, Roman Reigns did injure himself, right? But here's the thing: he injured himself at the literally the last move of the match, right? So it's like, motherfucker, you had no excuse for that bland ass match. Yes. That match stinked. That match sucked. Shit was terrible. Watching the whole entire thing.
Terrible, bro. But it would have been better probably if you were able to see it in person.
Okay, shut up. No, it wouldn't happen. No.
Now. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, it's a great build up right there. It's a great way to end it. But
you're a terrible person.
I want to talk to you about something that's completely different from wrestling, right? And this is
all right.
It'll blow your mind, but I'm not sure in which way. Now, it's a theory, okay? Listen, it's a theory. Now, bear with me because I'm going to explain this. So just listen, and then I'll kind of just let you like digest it. And mind you, this is the first time that Cam is hearing this. This is the first time, obviously, that you guys are hearing this. So let me know what you guys think about this, right? Okay, so the theory is this. I totally forget the name, so don't even ask me the name of the theory.
Go ahead.
But the theory is this. So
Okay.
you know how, obviously, we all die, right?
Yeah.
So we all eventually die. And so there's been two things that have been proven, guaranteed to happen when we die.
Yeah. You shit yourself is one of them, right?
No, that does happen, but like, no, that's not
Okay. Well, I don't know why was the first thing that came to my mind, but I'm like, okay.
True, that's true.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Simon studies have shown that you can have an orgasm if you're also dead. Don't ask me how I know that. Anyway, so so the first is that your brain can stay your brain can function for up to 7 minutes after your heart stops beating.
I didn't even know that.
So your
Didn't even
brain
know that.
your brain can stay functioning up to 7 minutes after your heart starts beating. And the second thing is that it has been proven that your brain takes the collection of memories you have all throughout your life and releases them in like a slideshow, like dream-like
Light flashing before your eyes.
yes, like your life. It's been proven that your life actually flashes before your eyes. Like
That's
after-
fucking wild.
when you die.
It's fucking
proven.
wild. That's so
And
fucking
so-
wild.
Okay,
That's
so
wild.
listen, it gets crazier. This is the theory. So this is the theory. The theory is this. So remember when everybody in 2012 thought that the world was going to end because the Mayan calendar ended in 2012? And that the Mayans were like one of the most like civilized people and they had so many advanced like technologies and stuff like that, but they kind of disappeared and nobody really understands like what happened to them. But their calendar ended in 2012. So remember when everybody would freak out and like everybody bought a bunch of toilet paper and whatnot? They even made a movie about it. Like, okay, so listen.
Mind you, that's funny. That movie is actually under the comedy section now. It's now seen as a comedy, but continue.
Listen, the theory is that the Mayans were correct and the world did end when 2012 happened.
Yeah.
So in 2012, we all died. Like the world doesn't exist. And the theory is that right now we are experiencing that dreamlike trance that our brain has released. Because they said in the 7 minutes, it can feel like a super long time and it's extremely realistic. And we're kind of just reliving all of our memories. And so the theory is that we are all dead and we all died in 2012 and we are reliving those memories right now.
Wait, but that was in 2012 and I'm 21 right now. I was 11. So how can it be extra memories is what I'm asking.
Now, bro, this theory is absolutely crazy. Dude, like, I just want to say that this shit is bullshit, bro. There's no way that this theory is actually correct. Like, it makes.
I know.
Like, I literally looked at the theory and I was like, dude, that makes no sense at all. So, even okay, so I'm gonna. You like how I built that up like it was I like this.
Yeah, it's a crush. Like I bet you the people who are like there's people. I love how you always do that. Like because Emil does a lot. He'll build something up, right, and then he'll wait and he'll just crush it down.
This theory is stupid. Okay, so I'm not arguing the first two things, okay, because it's literally scientifically proven. So your brain stays functioning for up to 7 minutes, and your life flashes before your eyes, and time can be like misconstrued. And it's been proven that time is misconstrued, and I believe in Christ. And so he even says himself, there's no concept of time after you die. Okay, so that makes sense, right? What doesn't make sense, of course, is how, okay, so it's 2012, how old were you? We were both 12, right?
I was 11. I was 11.
We were both 11 because
we were both 11. We were both 11. Yeah.
We were December babies, right? So that doesn't explain us continuing to go through puberty and like building up our muscles and all this stuff and like feeling pain and all that. And they say that and it's just like, oh, like the common argument is how do you feel pain still? and all this stuff, but yada yada yada. And it's because in the dream it can be very realistic. Okay, so I can't even bring that up apparently because it's a part of the dream. It's a part of the dream. Okay, so I have two more. I have two more. Okay, so it's a part of the dream, right? How do you explain dreams? How do you explain dreams now? So you're saying that we're dreaming within a dream when we go to sleep now and we have a dream that we're dreaming within a dream?
Inception. I love that movie. No, I
See how
love that
that
movie.
you see how that doesn't like make sense? And
Yeah,
then
you can't really do that.
yeah, and then two, how because have you ever been in a dream? Have you ever had a dream where you dreamed? No.
No, never.
No. That's not a
The
thing.
closest I've ever came to that, the closest I ever came to was going. I'm in the dream, going to sleep, and then I just wake up in real life. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that doesn't explain dreams. And then secondly, what is the paranormal? What are ghosts in?
That's a good point.
If we are all in a dream, then what are spirits? And
That's a
me
good
and
point.
Cam have had paranormal encounters, so you
Oh
can't
my
say
god.
that.
Oh, can we talk? Can we get into that? Have we ever talked about that before?
Have we ever talked about that?
I don't think we have.
I don't even think we've ever talked about that before. Okay.
We haven't. You go first.
No. You want me to go first?
You go first. Now go.
So no, first finish your point about the theory. Like, do you believe in this or not?
No, cause nigga, I'm 21 years old. like it's the thing, right? I can understand the whole people. Like it's this is the thing about conspiracy theorists, right? They never fully think out all sides. They just think out one point, and it's like, oh, because it's my point, and because it's one point, that's it, right? Like this, like I just said, well, I was like, okay, I'm 21 years old, and I was 11 in 2012, right? A conspiracy theorist would get pissed off at you if you ever told them that. They would get pissed off at you, and you know they would, because like here's the thing: I believe in some conspiracy theories, right? But it's like at some point, it's like, nigga, calm the fuck down.
Girl.
All right, calm the fuck down. Let's just calm the fuck down. That theory is bullshit. And it's like, why the fuck would I add more memories if it's happening, if it's flashing before my eyes? Whoever thought that theory needs to shut the fuck up. They are a stupid idiot. All right, think, use your brain, use it. Don't lose it. All right, but continue.
So you gotta think like your brain dreams. Like if say I have a dream and we're in a dream-like trance, so you're dead.
Yeah.
Your brain dreams that you dream.
Why would I have a dream from the dream? Like, I love Inception, but come on.
But they're saying like they also said like that's why like Mandela effects are a thing, because some people have like remembered it as something else because that's what it was in a different time, and then like other people remember it.
Here's the thing: whenever I've dreamed, right, and there are times like here's the thing, right? There's times when you can like tell I'm 100% in the dream, right? Because here's the thing: you like when you think about a dream or you remember a dream, you've never truly felt a dream, right? Like you can feel all this. You really truly don't feel like I've never like thinking about whenever I've dreamed, I've never truly felt like or smelled or
felt like pain or anything like that. Or even then,
exactly.
Like, there have been dreams where I cried in the dream and then I woke up like crying, but I didn't realize that like I was actually crying until like I was
Because that's just emotion, exactly. Because that's not physical. That's just emotion.
oh, right.
That's
So-
just emotion.
Okay, so even that, I had a dream. I one time had a dream when I was little, and it was catastrophic, and I was crying in the dream, and that's how it ended. And I woke up crying. How do you explain that if you're dead? Like, how do you do that if you're dead? If I have a dream of me crying, my dead body.
That's true.
It doesn't make.
That's
any
true.
sense.
That's
You see what I'm
true.
saying? You see what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's a good point.
Bro, nah, but okay. And then I already know. Oh, bro, ghost? Are you serious? The paranormal? Nah.
Ghosts are fucking real.
Ghosts are real, bro.
You cannot tell me what I saw.
Are 100% real. Okay. So you want me to go first? You want to go first?
You go first. You go first, bro.
Okay, bro. I have two. I have like 5 stories, but I have 2 that I can actually prove actually happened. That like I can legitimately say happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the one was in my house. Okay, so God rest his soul, but my grandfather passed away in my driveway at the house that I live in today. And for a while, when I was younger, I truly believed that he haunted the house. And it makes sense because out of all of the grandchildren that he has, or has, because all my cousins are living today, I am the only one out of my family that he hasn't met. He never got to meet me. He died when I was a baby. So I think, because especially all these things would happen to me, and I think that was his way of interacting with me because he never got to interact with me when I was a baby. And when I was a baby, I lived in California. All right, now listen, this is the first thing that happened. Okay, so my grandfather was he was a very smart man. So he made a lot more money than like what he actually had to pay in taxes. So he was a principal, like just a regular middle school and high school principal. So he was on that type of salary. So like nothing crazy, but he made better than teachers. But he was really into real estate and investing and stuff like that. And so he had like a lot of like money and other things, right? So he was able to afford like a lot nicer things than like a principal would, right? Okay, so because he passed away, my grandma kind of said like, "Oh, I'm gonna take the responsibility and teach them about like like investing and like
Yeah.
checking savings. You know, what I'm saying credit, debit, all this stuff." So when we were little, we had books like checkbooks, not
Yeah.
checkbooks, like like books to record like our balances. So like whatever you call that. And so, whenever we did like work for her or like chores and she paid us, like we wrote that, and then whenever and we would give her our money, and then wherever we like wanted to take money out to go buy something, then we would write that down as like a credit because it's an
Mm.
expense. You know what I'm saying? So she would like teach us stuff like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
we would keep the books. We were little kids, so like she didn't trust us with like the books. We'd probably lose them. So we would keep the books in her room, and she's in my house. It's the master bedroom, and the master bedroom is smack dab in the middle of the house. Okay, so the master bedroom never changed. So that's where like my grandfather was when he was still alive as well. So that was his bedroom as much as it was hers. And so one day, bro, it's in the summer. I'll never forget this. It was like July, dude. I had just finished raking some grass because I live on I have a very big property line. I have about 10 acres of land. And so I was done raking some grass. I was all sweaty, and I come inside I just got paid. She always like left money on the table after we were done. And so I was I was gonna put it in her room and then write it in my checkbook. Okay, listen. You cannot make this up. I swear I'm not lying on everything I love. This is honest truth. In the master bedroom, there's a full size bathroom. So toilet, sink, full shower with the bathtub, window, all that good stuff. There's a door to that bathroom. That door was closed. That door was closed because I walk in and you can see the doorknob. So the door is closed, it's shut, and I know this is shut because this is what happens next. As soon as I open the drawer, I was little and it was a tall brown dresser, so I kind of had to like reach up to like look over to see where my checking book was and go like this to grab it. As I'm looking up in my peripheral, you can see the bathroom. In my peripheral, I see the bathroom knob turn. The knob turned and the door opened. Like cliche, like creaking.
Yeah.
The knob turned, the door opened. Okay. Normally I'd be like, okay, my grandma's in here. Like there's no
Yeah.
problem, whatever. But the problem is that my sister wasn't home, my mom was at work, and my brother and my grandmother were outside. And so either someone was breaking into our house or nobody was there. And so
Fuck
I
no.
saw, and you could say like, because windows, if you leave like the window open, sometimes the draft from the wind will like shut the door or whatever. The doorknob turned. You can't explain that. It opened up.
Can't.
Okay. And I looked in the corner of my eye, and the window was closed. Like the blinds were split so you can look outside and the window is closed.
Yeah.
Now I try and act nothing of it because maybe I'm overreacting. I'm a little kid. I have a wild imagination.
Yeah.
I just kind of my heart's racing at this point, but I write in my checkbook.
Yeah.
I get out of there. As I'm writing in my checkbook, ignoring what just happened, the door slams back.
Fuck no.
Bro, and I sprint. I absolutely sprint. I threw the checking book. I don't even know if it made it back in the dresser, bro. I closed it, and I didn't even close it actually, and I just ran out of the room, bro. I just ran out of the room, and I was extremely scared, bro.
Oh my god, fuck.
So
no.
scared, like, Oh my goodness, it was wild. I've had other like little situations happen to me, but this and the second story I'm about to tell
Oh
you
my god.
are the biggest thing.
I
Okay,
already know this one.
so this happened. So the thing happened, and then since then it's died down. And present day, like literally nothing happens. It's just a regular house now. But I swear, when I was younger, man, like freshly when my like I'd say like 8 years removed and down from when my grandfather passed away, my house was for sure haunted. But something happened because nothing happens now. But you can't explain that. Now,
Yeah.
two. Okay, so I used to go to a church. As you know, me and Cam are Christian, beautiful young black men. Okay. Now, when I went to church, this was after I went to the church that I met Cam at. Then I started. That was the church my grandma went to. It was right on the corner from my house.
Mm.
And this is the church that I started going to with my mom because she went to a different church because she didn't like the church that my grandma went to. And this church was in the Cleveland area. And this church was fun because we would do a bunch of activities, whatever, whatever. And we would go to youth conferences. So, like, a youth conference would be like a bunch of churches from all over come together in one common place and like play games, learn about, like God and like fellowship and, et cetera, et cetera. And so we would have our youth conferences is different from like region to region, but we would have ours at a university over the summer. So like a college campus over the summer, and we would stay there for like a weekend or like a weekend and then like 2 days into the week, or like whatever the case may be. And so this particular year was Ohio University, and I want to preface this by saying
Oh
that
god.
it is proven that Ohio University is one of the most haunted universities in America. It's literally been voted by like high level studies as one of the most haunted universities in America. And so, mind you, we didn't know this at the time. I didn't know this. So they put us in one of the older dorms on campus. Like it was old, man. Like I'm not even that old. I'm 21. So at this time I'm probably like 13, 12. And there was handprints on the walls, like handprints like the corny, like, put your hand in the paint but on the handprints it said class
Yeah, yeah.
1984, class in 1982. I was like, bro, what the heck? Like class of the 80s? And that's where we're staying. Like we stayed over there. And then my mom and my sister actually stayed in a dorm where a girl supposedly hung herself at, but like that's not part of the story. I'm just like giving you a point of like we shouldn't have been in that area. um we were in
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we were in like an older section too. And so, okay, so one night, this was like the second night there, we were in a dorm, right? And it was we as in me and my brother Amir. And so when so how the dorm is set up is you walk in and it's just like a regular dorm, and there's a bed on one side and a desk right at the foot of the bed. And then it's the same for me, except the desk is on the opposite side. So the beds are the same, but my desk is at the top and his is at the bottom. That makes sense. And then there's a big window that you see out. It's just nothing. It's just like a parking lot and some woods. And then not like woods in a creepy way either, just like a regular parking lot somewhere.
Yeah, just
And then like
regular roads. Yeah.
a big window with curtains. So like even if you were scared, you could like close the curtains. And then the rest was like the dorm. So it was small, but the way the dorm was set up was it made like the room big, if that makes sense. And it was really like long, like the dorm was long. All right, so nothing happens. We're goofing off. We're not even in dorms most of the time either because we're playing basketball or like doing activities or like what I'm saying, eating or something like that. So we're in there, we're sleeping. Okay, I wake up at like cliche like 3 in the morning, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pitch black because we just sleep in the dark, pitch black. You know what I'm saying, like nothing. And mind you, it's pitch black. So what pitch black is. Like you close your eyes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the door, so at the front of the door, where the front of the door would be, because I can't see it, right? Because like it's dark, it's pitch black. I see a darker outline of a person, and not like a humanoid or like an alien. of a person, like a tall, skinny person, an outline, and it's just like picture a guy just standing like this, like with his hands like by his legs, just standing there, but like a head like this, so like tilted, looking down, staring right at me. So like you couldn't see its face, you couldn't like see any details. It was just like a black outline, but you can tell that you felt as if it was staring at you, and you knew
Yeah. Yeah.
its attention was fixed on you. Okay, so naturally, I'm a very like doubtful person, and so I'm not gonna believe something until I see it or it happens to me, right? But mind
Same.
you, that stuff had already happened to me before, and so then I'd have been like, dude, and mind you, this is the first time this has happened to something like paranormal happened to me in like 6 years. So I was just like, dude, no way. Like I'm just overreacting, or
Yeah.
I'm seeing things. I'm seeing things like there's not really that, like I'm low key tripping. Like there's not really such thing as ghosts, because like what I saw in my grandma's room, like I still didn't really like contribute to paranormal. And then the stuff that's happened to me after that, I'd make up an excuse for it, because it's just like that's hard. That's a hard thing to say you believe in, is like ghosts.
Exactly.
And so, okay, so standing at me, right, not even moving, not walking, not anything, you can see it slowly going like this towards my bed. So, like, imagine it's still standing like this, and it's just slowly gliding towards me. And dude, like it was extremely creepy. It was
Terrifying.
yeah, I was shaking, bro. I was shitting my pants, bro. Like, oh my goodness, it was so bad. Like I was so scared. Top 10, like scared in my life, bro. Probably top 3 actually. And so naturally, I think it's Amir, because like Amir loves to play pranks, bro. Like we all do. And so naturally, I'm thinking he's playing
Yeah.
on me. And then especially when we were younger, we always wanted to like scare each other. And so I'm thinking he's scaring me, bro. So I'm like, Amir, like, dude, I get it, bro. Like, I can literally see you. Like, just go back in your bed. Like, you're not about to scare me because I'm watching you. But then, like
Yeah.
it just kept coming closer. Just kept inching towards me, and I'm talking like slowly. Like it was moving fast, but it was so slow at the same time, because it was like the anticipation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so then I kept
Yeah.
saying, like Amir, bro, it's not funny. And I was like, Amir, and I kept saying his name, and nothing
Yeah.
happened. And I kept like, this is a process, because I was not getting out of bed. There was nowhere to go, because it was at the only exit is
Yeah.
the door. In the window, by the time, dude, like how small the door was, by the time I try and open up the window, like in the screen, like I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm done for. And so like I'm saying, Amir, like Amir, it's not funny, bro. It's not funny. And like I'm
Yeah.
saying this louder, like I'm not screaming, but it's like, dude, it's like that.
Yeah. Like, come on, like, bro.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
exactly. And so, um, it gets to the point where they're like almost face to face,
Yeah.
like they are very, very close. And I
Terrifying.
still can't. And I was even more terrified, because the closer you get, the closer someone gets to you, that's when you like start to make out the more like details on their face.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was the same as if it was as far away. It was a black, tall figure, and I just, for some reason, I just felt a completely evil feeling over me. Like I still can never explain it. It was just sickening. Like it was like disgusting. Like just something of pure bad intentions over me. But it wasn't like my feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still cannot explain it to this day, bro. And so I turned on the lamp right next to me, bro. That was right next to the desk. Turned on the lamp, and what do you know? Amir's back is turned towards me, sleeping on his bed, snoring actually, which I couldn't have hear. I didn't hear, like, at all up until I turned the light on. He was snoring, and there was nothing there.
Fuck no.
Absolutely
Fuck
nothing.
no.
I slept the rest of the night. I slept with that fucking lamp on, bro.
Yeah.
I slept with that lamp on, because I was like, "There's no way, bro. There's no way." And like, dude, that was like, because I was like, the other times that happened when I was little, and like when you're little, you just trip it up to like, oh, it's it's your imagination.
Yeah. Exactly.
Your parents tell you like, oh, you're just seeing things, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right. But like, I was 13, bro. Like, I was like in puberty at that time. Like I was definitely like an aware person, and I'm not the type to be like, oh, it was a ghost, you know what I'm saying? But after that shit, bro, like I was just like, yep, like the paranormal is extremely real. But like
Yeah.
I said, like I only believe it because it happens to me, man. I hope it never happens to you guys, but That stuff is scary, man. I still can never like describe that
Fucking
type of feeling in myself.
terrifying.
But I mean, bro, wasn't yours at OU too?
Yeah, myself. So mine was also at Ohio University.
Bro,
Now
Ohio University is harder
I'd
than Florida
already.
State, bro.
Don't go there.
No.
Don't go there. Like. Okay, so I remember because Okay, so I'm not gonna say the real names, but let's say I had a homie named Ezekiel and then a homie named
Why is he-
fucking Jackson, right? I don't know. It's the first name that came to mind. All right, so the homie Ezekiel, right?
Why
Let's
was
say the homie
Ezekiel
Ezekiel,
first
he's
name
the
that came
person.
to mind?
I don't know. I don't know. It's Ezekiel's kind of a cool name. It has like fucking, Ezekiel's name. It has like, I don't know, 10,000 fucking syllables. So I was like, oh, I'll go for that one, right? So let's call him Zeke. Okay, how about Zeke? Zeke. All right. So the homie Zeke, right? I kind of like Ezekiel better. Okay, so the homie Ezekiel, right? He's like very, very heavily recruited, like the big dog on camp, the big dog in our high school, right? Like absolutely fucking talented. Then you have the homie
For
Jackson, right? Almost his real name. Yeah, huh?
I was just saying for football is what you mean.
Yeah, for football. Homie Jackson, also very talented, up and coming, right? Then you have me. I'm a sophomore. Jackson is junior year. Ezekiel is senior year, right? They kind of like, took me under the wing. You know how that happens, right? Took me under the wing. We hung out a lot, right? And Ezekiel is getting recruited by every MAC team in the whole, like every MAC team, football, right? So he's like, hey, they're recruiting me. I'm gonna spend the night there and stuff like that. I'm gonna be in the dorm rooms. Do you guys want to come over? Do you guys want to come with me? Right? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Like, why the fuck not? Right? Of course. Originally, we had the chance to go to a hotel room, right? But then he was like, nah, I need like the experience, right? So, when I told, I think it was maybe my mother that I was going over there and stuff like that. She's like, "Oh, there's ghost stories and blah blah, blah and stuff like that." I'm like, "Nigga, ain't no fucking such thing as a ghost, nigga. Like, what the fuck you talking about, right?" I'm like, "It's ghost, like whatever." All right, I'll go. What? Casper gonna whoop my ass? I was like, okay, whatever. Right. So, go over. Right. We go over. Of course, the whole recruiting process happens. Right. Then they show us at dorm rooms. And then one thing I noticed about dorm rooms was I was like, huh. I was like, these don't look new, right? They kind of look like they were made in the 80s or 90s, right? These don't look new at all. Then we went in there, we could see that they weren't new, right? So already he was like, but whatever. We're gonna put us in new dorm. Oh, he's like, I asked for newer dorm rooms because the beds weren't comfortable. So he was like, yeah, they said because we were supposed to be there for like 2 days, right? And this is the first day. He was like, okay. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't mind it. I literally slept on the floor for the longest because I like sleeping on the floor. You know me. I like sleeping on the floor because I'm weird, right?
Yeah.
So, that whole thing happens, right? And then it's around nighttime. Now, mind you, beforehand, didn't get any experiences, any paranormal experiences. Nothing, nothing really happened, right? But I say it's around 5, 6 a.m., around that time. It's still very, very dark, right? Around 5 to 6 a.m. And, the homie's a, big buff athlete. So he's like, hey, man, I'm about to go on my morning jog, right? When you get the chance, just wake me up, right? He's like, Nathan, you get the chance. He's like, set an alarm or something like that. And then let me in because he had the key, of course, right? But he didn't want to lose it. He was paranoid of losing it because they said, if you lose this, you have to pay for it. And in his mind, he's like, I'm not paying $20, right? So I was like, okay, got you. I understand it, right? So the way our beds were set up there was like a futon, right? Futon where Jackson was sleeping. Ezekiel's bed's right here, right? My bed's on the right side, his is on the left side, doors right there, right? Now, Jackson sleeping on the futon, right? He chose to sleep on it and, and stuff like that. And then we're like, cool, whatever, right? So he's sleeping on that. And then I'm, of course, sleeping on the right side. And I usually like to sleep like, belly down, right? So that's how I was sleeping and stuff like that. So I set the alarm. He usually goes on the jog for like, let's say 40, 60 minutes, right? So I was thinking, okay, he's probably going to be back in that time, or he can just call me, right? So I'll be good. Put my phone on the ringer, have it all the way up just in case, because I'm a heavy sleeper. You know that. And then I was good, right? So, like I said, I'm like this, right? And I'm sleeping like this. So, and I always like to have, me, I always like to have the blanket over my head.
Oh, because like a dead body, like in a morgue. Like when laying on the ground, still cover over your head. Sometimes you sleep with headphones in.
Yeah, like I always have like a blanket over my head, right?
Like, how did you
So,
like why
right,
do you sleep like this?
I don't know. I just like sleeping like that. I'm more flat, right? If that makes sense, right? And luckily the beds were uncomfortable enough and they're stiff enough to where it felt like the floor. Because if it wasn't that case, I would have slept on the floor, right? So sleeping on the bed, right, like this, then I get woken up by a little bit of commotion, right? A little bit of commotion, right? I can't see that well because I didn't turn on the lights or anything, but I kind of like open my eyes because it's hazy and stuff like that. And I see boots. Like I can know what boots. Like it even sounded a little bit like boots, right? I see a little bit of boot, like workman's boots, right? So I'm tired. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, okay, Ezekiel's back, right? He's done from jogging. Didn't hear him open the door, but I'm a heavy fucking sleeper, right? But I was like, it's weird how the commotion kind of woke me up. But I'm a heavy sleeper, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. So really quick, right? Because back then you could just like if your alarm is up back then on your phone, you just open up your phone and then the alarm like you just press stop and it'll automatically go off, right? It's different now, but back then you could do that, right? So I just press stop, my alarm is no longer on, right? Go back to sleep. I wake up, right? Well, apparently he called me like 3 times, but I just missed it, right? I wake up to banging, boom, 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 right? Wake up to banging, boom, 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 right? And then I'm like, what the fuck, right? I look at the fuck, right? See Ezekiel sleeping on the futon, right? And then I'm like, what the hell? I look over the time, 6:40, right? So open the door, and Jackson was sleeping. I mean, and I open the door and it's Ezekiel, right? So he's like, bro, he's like, what the, he's like, bro, like, I thought you set an alarm, blah blah blah. I'm like, nigga, like you already came here, so I turn off my alarm. He was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've been knocking for like the past 20 minutes and the only open up the door. I was like, bro, you saw me set the alarm. Like, and then I was like, yeah, like I turned it off because you already came in through here, right? And he was like, Cam, he's like, how the fuck would I get in here? I didn't have the key, right? I'm like, well, maybe, Jackson, right? I mean, maybe Jackson opened up the door for you, right? He's like, no. He's like, no, right? So one thing I remembered in my mind was the fact boots. All I remember was like workman's boots, right? Like dark workman's boots. So I looked down, right? And I realized like why like he's wearing running shoes. Of course he's wearing running shoes. He went jogging, right? And then look over at Jackson, you know, then of course he's not sleeping in shoes, so I'm looking over and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, yo, bro, Jackson, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm like, hey, like, do you have any like workman's boots or anything like that? He's like, no. He's like, why the fuck did I wear workman's boots? Like, what reason do I have to wear that? Right? So, as all this is going on, right? Like, I'm literally
you
like,
didn't bring any boots, right? You didn't have any boots.
no, I don't wear boots. Don't like. I just started wearing boots. Like, I just now. When's the first time you ever saw me wear boots?
I've never seen you wear, except now. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like now, like a couple months ago, it was like now is the first time you saw me wear boots, right? So I always wear, I'm always comfortable. I dress comfortable, right? So like all this is dissolving in my head, right? I'm thinking about holy, like what the fuck happened? Did somebody break in? Blah blah blah, right? And then I'm like, no one could have broken in because everything looked completely fine, right? There's no maids or anything like that here because the fucking university, right? I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, only way somebody getting like maybe like I don't know, maybe somebody came in and tried to talk to Willie, but I'm like, no, why would somebody just do that at 5 a.m. in the fucking morning, right? So all this dissolving in my head, I remembered, holy shit, how University is one of the most haunted places apparently ever, right? My ass is like paranormal activity isn't real, all that shit isn't real, right? But as all this is dissolving, right? I'm really looking around, right? I'm sitting down, I'm fidgety, right? Because I have terrible anxiety. Like I'm like, fuck happened? What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Right? I'm like, every time the thought of like it was a ghost comes up, I'm like, no, no, no. Every time it comes up, I'm like, no, that shit's not real, right? And then Ezekiel looks up, he's like, bro, he's like, that was a fucking ghost, right? And then Jackson already was like, he was like, what the fuck, right? And he's like, what the fuck? And like all this happened. I'm like, are you guys doing a bit? Are you guys playing a joke on me? Right? The whole entire time. I'm like, be serious. He's like, no, he's like, I'm really looking around to see, because I'm like, these niggas are joking with me, right? Looking around, right? Looking under the bed and stuff like that, looking for boots, looking in the empty closet and stuff like that, just looking for boots, right? Nigga, nothing. Nothing. I even looked outside to see like maybe they hid it outside so they could do something. Nothing. I get nothing. Right. And then he was like, well, these dorms are pretty old. And like I heard like a lot of things about what happened back then and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And then the whole entire time I'm thinking, I can't stay here. We gotta leave. We gotta leave. We gotta leave. I can't stay here, right? So immediately, homie Ezekiel, because you know he had money back then, books us a hotel room on the fucking spot, right? Books us a hotel room on the spot, and he's like, "We only gonna be here for one day." He's like, "I'm just gonna break the news tomorrow. I'm gonna break the news to them today that I might be going. I'm thinking about probably going to a different universe, right?" And as we're driving to the hotel, right, like literally no joke, I'm like holding myself. I'm like this. I'm like, what the fuck? Under my breath for the entire time, right? That shit scared the absolute shit out of me. And that is the reason why I remember, what's it called? The mirror, he was making a move and he was talking about going to a party. He's like, yeah, I got a college party set for us. I'm not sure if you remember this, right? He was like, yeah, OU. I'm like, no. I'm like, we're not going to our university. I'm like, fuck no. I will never go a step foot anywhere in the Ohio University ever again.
Dude, I've actually since that's happened, I've actually haven't been back to
I will never be back. I will never be back.
Man. It's haunted, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that stuff's haunted. But now you gave me a great prank idea. I'm just gonna get workman's boots off of like Craigslist and then
don't do that. Don't do that. That's gonna. You're a terrible person. Why would you? He's back.
Like, yeah, did you see that? It's gonna be like a size, it's gonna be like a size like 10 too. It's like a size I don't wear.
Exactly. And here's the thing that's crazy too. I'm pretty sure that was around the size from like what I remember, because I remember it being like smaller, not too small, but smaller. And I remember thinking to myself like, well, Ezekiel has big ass feet. Jackson's not wearing anything. He's not wearing any boots, I should say, because he was wearing something. You know, he wasn't just butt ass naked. But I was like, what the fuck? That shit scared the everlasting shit on me, bro. That shit will always scare the shit out of me. And like I just will never forget like the whole entire ride home. Even I was even scared to like even though it's funny too. As we were going to the hotel room, like we're going to the hotel. I'm like, this is the motel, right? He's like, yeah, it's a hotel. I'm like, how old is it? Like what? Like with the place we were going, like the rooms, like where were they made? You know, were there any like reported? Like literally, I was asking this nigga, are there any reported deaths there? Right? He's like, no. He's like, calm the fuck down. He's like, Cameron, we're fine.
That couldn't be me, bro, because I definitely would have been pranking both of you guys the rest of the night.
I know, because you're a dickhead.
I would have set an alarm. Turned it down low, because I can hear like alarms, certain sounds. Like as soon as I hear them, I'll just wake up. So I'll play an alarm that I would know I would wake up to. Play it low, and I know you're a heavy sleeper, so you would sleep past it. And
yeah, I sleep with headphones in too. That's another thing.
Jackson would too. And then I would literally set it. I'd wake up, like wipe myself off, and then I'd sit up and start screaming, like sit up and just leave. Start freaking out, and then I would have my eyes closed. So you guys wake me up, I'd be like, whoa, why are you guys like, what's up?
That was crazy too. I know you do that. I can see you literally like you wake up, your alarm like, oh, okay.
And you know, like I don't break. And like a serious prank,
exactly, you don't break. I've never seen you break.
And a serious prank,
like,
I don't break.
And a serious pranks like it's actually like very, very well. Like he doesn't break at all. Like if it's a serious prank, like literally, I remember one time it was kind of pranking us. He seemed completely angry, right? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, we about to beat this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck we about to do, right? I figured what the punchline or whatever there was, but I was actually ready to like murder somebody for a second because you seemed angry. I will never forget that. I was ready to whip somebody's ass because like you seemed angry, and then you were just joking.
I should probably tone that down because now I'll tell you guys the truth and you just don't believe me. So
yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of times, like I'm pretty sure because like one thing about Emil is like Emil is like one of the people where it's like sometimes like we just can't be real with each other when it comes like on the joking level, right? Because like I was told Emil about I told this Emil this like a month ago. I said because I forget what you did, but you were being serious with me. Oh yeah, it was how to like patch up a hole that was in my wall, right? Oh, yeah, and he's like just use soap, right?
He said how do you patch a wall? He's like I need to patch up this wall I just made from my streaming setup. And I was like, oh yeah, bro, just use a bar of soap and you should be good. And he was like, all right, dude, like, yeah, bro. He's like, that's not even funny.
Exactly. I was like, come on, bro, stop playing. I was like
literally just taking a batch of soap.
And then like the small hole, right? I just got soap and it actually patched up. I got like white soap and it patched up perfectly, and it still has been patched up perfectly, right? And then I realized, and I told them, I was like, I feel like if you ever were like in a bad place, right? Like, let's say you were in like rural Mississippi, right? And I happened to be here, be there, right? And I saw you running down, right? Like let's say your clothes were torn, right? You were bloodied, right? And you were like, yo, Cam, like I'm in a bad situation right now. I need to ride with you. I need you to take me somewhere, blah, blah, blah. They're about to kill me, right? In my mind, I'll be thinking, this is a great bit. Like, this is a great bit. Like, the joke he's pulling right now, this is some next level shit. Like, he can believe it, like, yo, the KKK is coming down that right there. I'll be like, oh, you brought your friends with you. I'm like, oh, okay, come on, let's go. It's like, oh, come on, take out that hoodie. And then I'll probably die because it's the KKK.
That's wild, bro. And in conclusion, ghosts are real. That theory is dookie. And
Yeah.
Cam,
Yeah.
unfortunately, didn't make it to the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Okay. It wasn't the greatest. It was one of the greatest. Okay. It was one.
You know it. And you know it. And
It was one of the greatest.
I'm so happy that you were able to miss it, actually. I truly am. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But that's another episode of the Home Team. I love you guys. We love you guys. We thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the partnered clothing brand with the Home Team podcast, Harvest Hooligan, then all you have to do is follow Harvest Hooligan _ on Instagram. The link is in the bio, and you'll be able to shop crew necks, tees, tank tees, wristbands, whatever you want. It is by artists.
Exactly. Diapers, you know, because, you know, a lot of you bitches having kids.
No contraception.
Rompers.
Nothing.
Forks for your steaks. You can get like a knife, you know, all types of shit like that.
Tube socks that go to your knee.
Yeah, tube socks. Exactly. Knee-high Levi's if you want to get that into.
The socks that fit your toes too, like the ones that individually.
Exactly. Yeah, the toe socks. No, actually, we're actually working on toe shoes too. Like, you know, toe shoes. Yeah, the grip on the bottom. Yo, the grip on the bottom just makes it nuts. Like, it's like, bro, just wear fucking shoes, yo.
What do you need the grip for, bro? Like, what are you trying to do?
Exactly.
Your socks.
Like, nigga, just wear shoes.
But the intro song is by an artist by the name of Visual 9, and the song is the instrumental of a song called Foreign. It's already out on all platforms, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever the case may be. His Instagram,
Napster,
Visual 9, yes, on that too. And Cam is Black Saka on Twitter.
Yup.
200 away from 1K, is that right? 200
away from 1K, yep. 200 away from 1K.
The first 6'5" Canadian-born African to make it big on Twitch.
That actually might be like a fact. Like, that actually might be like an actual fact.
I think that's see, it is impressive. It is impressive. No, anyway, on the real, appreciate you guys. HomeTeam.ii at TikTok and Instagram. All the links and all the things that you need will be in the bios of both of those platforms. We love you so much. Peace.
Peace out.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
Are
you?
Absolutely.
Ride your neck, hoodie, turn that to a foreign thing. Ride your neck, hoodie, turn that to a foreign thing.